Hi guys. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about
Why
Parents
are
lame. Lame.
So why are parents lame? I mean, when I was in high school, I was,
So cool.
oh yeah, I was cool. But now I am.
so lame? So true.
You know how I know? It is like 9:15 and I'm just like in bed, exhausted. Kind of the interesting part of all of this whole why parents are lame, the idea came to me the other day when I was thinking about Disney bounding, which I did a video on earlier, and I was thinking about why I Disney bound, and I feel like it gives me a really fun and satisfying creative outlet all of a sudden that I didn't have before. For me, creativity is such a huge part of my mental well-being. If I'm not creating something, then I can get kind of self-loathing. When I was in middle school, when I was in high school, I was highly expressive, I guess you could say, and got a lot of satisfaction from that. I felt like I was very, very well expressed. And now that I'm older and have had 3 kids,
Things have sort of changed a little.
and I've kind of become lame, I guess you could say. And yeah, I blame it all on my kids. Yeah, sure do. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Because it's important. It's important to know this about your parents, or if you're a parent, about yourself. When you're younger and you start experimenting with all these ways to express yourself and creativity and defining yourself and who am I really?
What is it that makes up Stacy, you know?
What is it?
What drives me to do things and all that kind of stuff. When you're learning all that, it's completely selfish. I mean, the only person in the world who you're thinking about then is yourself. And it's really easy to define and to manipulate who you are and stuff to who you want to be and all that kind of stuff when all you have to worry about is yourself. And then you become this person and it's great and all the things that are important to you are taken care of, and then you have kids and everything changes because all of a sudden there's this little tiny helpless person. They've taken all of your selfishness and just gone out the window. And now your 100% main concern is this tiny little baby that can't even hold its head up. And you're not to mention the fact that you're just madly in love and the hormones are crazy and you're
Just, I love you so much.
and all that stuff. And then over time they grow up and everything changes, every few weeks it's like, whoa, whole new routine, as soon as I get used to this whole parenting thing,
Everything changes. I don't know.
I mean, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. And so whatever energy you had to put into defining and finding yourself, that is a thing of the past. So finding a creative outlet that has like the ability to fit into a lifestyle where you are 24 hours a day on call to a tiny human who is
So needy. So needy.
it doesn't happen. It does not happen. It's over. Forget it, folks. It's over. There's also a lot of beauty in this. There's something pretty magical about it. I don't know if you guys remember when the Peter Pan movie came out in, I think it was 95. And I remember it was a big deal because the boy in it, the boy actor who played Peter Pan, was from Kentucky. And everybody's like, yay! Like Kentucky has ever produced any famous actors. I don't know. I mean, surely 1 or 2 maybe. I don't know. This movie had some really great quotes in it. And I don't know if they're directly from the book or not by Barry, but I remember this one dramatic scene with Mrs. Darling and the kids where she's talking about Mr. Darling. But after I became a parent, I still remembered this scene, and it impacts me a lot. And I think it's important to remember when you're talking about or thinking about why my parents so lame. I think it's important to remember this. And I looked it up and I wrote it down, and I'm going to read it to you. I think it's worth hearing. It's pretty awesome. Now I'm going to try to get through this. Sometimes when I read this, I do kind of cry a little because it's, I don't know, the truth in this one hits me, just punches me in the chest. So, okay, so the scene's Mrs. Darling, and she says, "There are many kinds of bravery. There's the bravery of thinking of others before oneself. Now your father has never brandished a sword, nor fired a pistol, thank heavens, but he has made many sacrifices for his family, and put away many dreams." And Michael says, "Where did he put them?" And Mrs. Darling says, "He put them in a drawer, and sometimes, late at night, we take them out and admire them. But it gets harder and harder to close the drawer, and he does. And that is why he is brave." I don't know why that gets me so much, but it just makes me love my husband. So, I think the fact that parents are lame is beautiful. It's a great thing. It's something to be really proud of, you know? Because you're putting your kids first, and that's what makes you uncool, you know? That's where you can find your sense of self. Your what makes me, you know? No longer is it in what you wear, is it in your hair or whatever. It's in the fact that you have the strength to put away all your desires and passions to do what's best for your family. And that is priceless. Because whatever we do with these little people while they're under our care, those few short years that we have them will impact the world in exponential ways that we can't even fathom. You know, for the rest of their 60 years of life or whatever, and their children and grandchildren and so on and so forth. So it's so vitally important, and it's so easy to forget. So I want to do a quick summarizing of why parents are lame, and why it's your fault, and why it's such a blessing. So, all right, so that's it for today.